on a cruise with city showboats to see Vivid, the lights they shine onto the Sydney Opera House. My sister wasn't happy when she found out we would be gone until 10, which is a long time to keep our puppy waiting. But my mum, dad, and I were very excited for the cruise. We drove to the train station, boarded a train to the city, and waited nearly an hour until getting off and going to the steepest escalator I have ever seen.
It was mind-boggling.
We walked down a long street before walking onto the harbour. The first thing I see is an ice cream truck.
This information is pointless, but it's useful later.
There were boats docked all around the harbour, and we were a dozen or so kilometres from the Opera House, but still. We were at Wharf 2 and didn't know where our boat was. I had the tickets in my backpack, which also contained gloves, beanies, scarves, and socks for the 4 of us. We reached Wharf 5, where the City Showboat's desk was. My sister and I had a seat, got it checked out, and had a toilet break before heading off to our boat, which was, unfortunately, all the way back to Wharf 2.
We'd have been better off if we used our eyes.
The line to the boat was pretty fast. It only took about 5 minutes for them to open the gates, and everybody entered in an orderly fashion, but still swiftly. The first thing that struck me was how different it was from what I expected. I hadn't seen any photos or anything, and I will admit my image of the place was a white yacht with a singular table out the front and the lights in front of us. What we got was a 2-story McDonald's with tables, chairs, and red velvet. So much red velvet. It was covered in red velvet. Enough red velvet to trick my sister into saying how fancy it was. And the fancy waiters took us to where to sit, grabbed us a Coke, and left. We had this bottle of wine on our table, so we took it home to give to our grandmother. I'd seen the menu, but the food was weird. Let me give you a list.
We still have the, limousine? Not in the back.
Vivid 2018 Sydney Valley Ballroom Family Buffet Cruise. Cold platter of ham and salami. Hot dishes. Beef stroganoff. Traditional Indian butter chicken. Penne marinara. Steamed fish with soy and ginger. Hokkien noodles. Stir-fried vegetables. Basmati rice. The salads are the rocket pear and parmesan salad. Potato salad with whole mustard and creme fraiche. Kale, quinoa, and whitloaf salad, Chinese cabbage and crisp noodle salad, bread rolls, and the dessert is an individual serve of tiramisu. Let me read the salad again. Kale, quinoa, and whitloaf.
What's a whitloaf?
Ah, it's a vegetable.
Gotcha.
There is a typo in this menu. This review is off to a great start. Now, onto the food. The problem is that you can only go once, making you either too scared to try something new, or too scared to get too much of something. Part of the fun of a buffet is going and getting your food multiple times, and it's why I love RSL Club dinners. I got a piece of ham, a spoonful of delicious looking rice, and some fish and lettuce. The lettuce wasn't the best lettuce, but it was passable. This lighting is much better. The fish was horribly undercooked and dry, causing it to be way too crumbly. It didn't get the nice brown lines for when you properly grill something, and instead was actually white, like the inside of the fish. If the fish was good, then it might have gone well with the lettuce, but it was bad, so I ended up not finishing either the fish or the lettuce. The rice was bright yellow, making me think that it had flavoring, but the flavoring tasted boring and bland. I thought you couldn't stuff up the ham, but they did. They put on the same plate as salami and bacon, so it got covered in salami smell and tasted slimy. I made a wrap of the lettuce, ham, and rice, and still, that couldn't really fix it. I ordered the kids' meal schnitzel, hoping it would be better, and by golly, it was. Kinda. I'll start with the bad. The mashed potato tasted like poop. They put the schnitzel balanced on the potato and tomato sauce bowl. So I moved the bowl, used my knife and fork to push the schnitzel off, and moved it to my rice and fish plate. Mom didn't mind the mashed potato, but my sister agreed with me and discarded hers.
We're not picky, but our parents spent hundreds on this meal and it should be worth it.
The schnitzel was the dinner's saving grace. It was the best schnitzel I've had in quite a while, as the last schnitzel I had was at a cheap Italian restaurant in Queensland that was bland and boring. But this schnitzel was absolutely divine in comparison with the fish in Queensland schnitzel. I don't know if it was cooked on the boat or just pre-made food, but it was delicious.
Offering the dough-cooked potato tasted 5 stars.
My sister enjoyed it as well. I tried some of the food I didn't get from my parents. The beef stroganoff was nice. I'm not a real beef guy, however, so I wouldn't eat it again, but that's me personally. If you like beef, I'd recommend the Great Stroganoff from my local Chinese restaurant, Chance. Mom gave me something she didn't know the name of, which I identified as scallop. Unfortunately, scallop wasn't on the menu, and I didn't see them, so I never got any. We finished our dinner with another jug of Coke. I love Coke. It's definitely my favorite drink, and the only problem I can have that the cups we had were smaller than the palm of my hand. so I finished each cup in 10 sips or so.
Don't get the wrong idea, they weren't shot glasses, but I just think drink big or go home.
The service was alright, and one waitress was very enthusiastic and good at her job. I don't know her name, and if you're watching Sydney Showboats, give her a raise! However, now we are on to the dessert issue. There were chocolate cakes for children and tiramisu for the adults. The tiramisu was delicious and big, while the chocolate cake was alright and pretty small. The only male waiter working on the top floor gave me a chocolate cake and left before I could say I wanted tiramisu. I ate it before an older waitress with the tiramisu arrived, and I didn't get one due to the one dessert, one dinner rule. I was pretty salty about that. It's just plain bad service not to ask what kind of dessert I like. I do understand though. I'm a kid with a kid's meal plate in front of me, and of course as I'm a kid, I'm uncultured and don't like a tiramisu. Little did he know, tiramisu is one of my favorite desserts. Behind Bavarian. Outside, we got to see the lights on the Opera House. However, the captain sailed nowhere close to the Opera House. We got very little view of it because we were either still on the wrong side of the Opera House or moving away from it. We got to see the captain. He had a cool little control thing, and I got this video of the boat moving. And while the lights were the main event of the night, it felt like it wasn't. We passed under the harbour bridge, and I decided to go to the toilet to get rid of the sorrow over the missed tiramisu. The way you go to the toilets is by heading down the stairs, down to the bottom floor, and down some stairs
In the middle of the dining room.
When I entered the male bathroom, I was shocked. The urinals were the ones like this, but you know the drain? It didn't have one. It was a hole. And because of science, I'm guessing suction and pressure or whatever, nothing went down the hole and it all floated to the surface, making a yellow pond in this urinal, and
And I was grossed out.
after everything finished, we docked and left the ship talking about our time. We walked up the wharf and to the ice cream shop I told you about at the start. The ice cream machine was broken, so I grabbed a milkshake from the next one over. My sister got a slushie and we were off. We walked around the while and I saw this thing. It's an Aboriginal spirit woman and was probably the most awesome thing I've ever seen up front. It was massive, and the people moving the arms and legs and body put in so much effort. We walked up Darling Harbour, stopped for some fireworks, and then raced up the wharf to a ferry just about to leave so we could get to Circular Quay. We scanned our Opal cards, jumped on, and we're back on the ocean. We got a fantastic view of the Opera House, and the milkshake plus the ride was only $30 all up. I had a great time, not just looking at the lights, but also joking around and talking with my family in a way the cruise ship just didn't bring. Sure, the seats weren't luxury recliners, but neither was the showboat.
I'm trying to say I had a good time.
Turns out Vivid was just a loop and not actually original all the way until its last dying breath, but there was one part where a hand turns into a guy who glitches everywhere. Vivid was great, until they used a character model like something from Who's Your Daddy instead of geometric shapes we all came to see.
Stick to what you're good at, yo!
All in all, the trip was a fun experience, but the fact I get more enjoyment out of a milkshake, a walk, and a ferry for about $30 all up than a professional cruise liner company who we paid about $400 for is a sign of how bad that showboat company was.